Hello, Dolly, this is Louis. Dolly, it's so nice to have you back where you belong.
When he was expected to record this hackneyed song, Louis Armstrong was pretty irritated, but he felt commercially obliged to do so. Much of what he sang and played in the course of his career is from a jazz perspective insignificant. However, as a young musician, he was the most groundbreaking and hippest innovator of his musical culture. He made his most creative and skillful recordings between 1926 and 1928. It is those recordings that are uppermost in my mind when I place him at the beginning of the line of great jazz masters. Charlie Parker achieved the height of his mastery around 1947. But in the 1950s he found himself in the hands of a manager who had him make only commercial recordings, with string sections, Caribbean flair, popular melodies and so on. So Charlie Parker's greatest works come mainly from the years 1947 to 1950. From 1961, John Coltrane had a magnificent band and a concept that balanced his complex playing with simpler elements, so that his music was not only very artful, but also accessible and extremely expressive. Alongside musicians from the free jazz movement, he began in 1965 to play screeching noises, to branch out liberally into areas of dissonance, ultimately largely dissolving the rhythmical foundation. He was striving for a very profound way to express himself and did not sacrifice his mastery in pursuing this. But his music became so extreme that he lost many of his followers, even amongst musicians. To this day, it is his recordings from 1961 to 1964 that have been the most influential. Louis Armstrong was prematurely devoured by show business, Charlie Parker by the chaos of his short life, and John Coltrane also died much too young. In contrast, Steve Coleman has been bringing out new albums regularly for the past 30 years or so. He has continued to develop his music throughout this time, without bowing to commercial pressures, and has had several outstanding bands. I did also find some of his many projects less satisfying, but the list of his great recordings has continued to grow and grow since the 1990s. In the next video, I will expand the spectrum of jazz history.